There comes a time in your life where your father has to let you go and be a man. That's what you do. When you go to be a man, that's why we respect each other like men, and it works so good. I mean, you know, we have that father-son relationship when we're at home. But when it's game time in the gym, it's all business like men.
What does he see that Joe Goosen and John couldn't see when they trained you?
You know, he sees everything. I mean, he raised me since I was a kid, so he knows when I...
Talk about in the ring. What does he see that those guys weren't able to see that allowed you to grow as a fighter that you were today?
You know, what he sees since I was a kid. You know, the talent, what I can do in the league. What I can do, what I'm capable of doing, what I can execute. You know, he sees all that. You know, Joe Goosen and guys like John Bray, you know, they see power and they fall in love with it, and that's all they want you to throw is just power shots. You know, my father, you know, he knows I could do a lot more. You know, footwork, mix it up. You know, hand speed, box, you know, fight on the inside. So, you know, it changes everything.
Talked about the way you fought Aiden and Berto, and you said you could do other things. Is that something you can shed light on now? Or those types of things?
You know, being able to mix everything up, mix everything in. You know, all the experiences I've had throughout my career, you know, it leads you to, you know, when you have fights like guys like Floyd who can change gears and can do different things in the ring, you know, you're able to make those adjustments. The great thing, you know, last year had those two fights, you know, with AD, who's a pressure fighter, and then Berto, who, you know, who's slick and you know, got quick hands, got power, you know, he's quick on his feet. You know, you get the best of both worlds, you know, within those two fights, especially breaking in at 147 pounds. I couldn't be happier. You know, now it's, you know, with those fights and you go back and you start, you know, assessing yourself and see what you got to change and, you know, what you got to put together and you know, start building your game plan around everything.
Three of the four judges, officials, are from Las Vegas. Robert Guerrero is an official, the referee, Roth, and Ford are from Vegas. Any concerns about the judges?
Nah, not at all. You know, I come to fight. You know, judges don't concern me. You know, they're going to do their job. You know, at the end of the day, you know, if they're honest, they're honest. If they're not, they're not. You know, what can you do? You know, you just got to go out there, focus, and fight your fight. Do what you got to do. Take care of business. But, you know, my ultimate judge, you know, this one is God.
Okay, one of the two, each of those two judges scored at 115, 113 for one for Bradley, one for Pacquiao. And so they were involved in that fight, and you know that was no concern whatsoever.
I just can't let up like Pacquiao did. I got to go all the way through. So, you know, you got to go out there and take care of business. Like I said, you know, I don't worry about the judges. I go out and fight. You know, if they're honest, they're honest. If not, what you gonna do? So, but pretty much, like I said, you got to go out there and focus, get your job done, do what you have to do, and you know, leave that all out of your mind and take care of business in the ring.
Floyd was in here a few minutes ago. He said more than once that while he never would wish what happened to your wife on anybody, he believes you have used it as a way to gather sympathy, even though that's ironic, given usually when people fight him, they're the good guy and he's a bad guy anyway. What would you respond to him when he says stuff like that?
It makes me laugh to gather sympathy, because I don't need sympathy. I come to fight. We're fighters. Sympathy doesn't like fights. So what he's thinking, you know, he's just worried about how his image is looking. That's all that's about. So when he says stuff like that, you know, at the end of the day, what gets you through the day is your talent, what you could do in the ring, not sympathy. So, you know, it's laughable. It makes you laugh because, you know, it just shows you where his head's at.
You knew going in anyone who fights him is usually at least portrayed the good guy. Did you accept that, or
I know one thing, you guys ain't used to this.
Huh?
I know you guys ain't used to this. Having Floyd come in first.
That's true. Actually, it's amazing. It's amazing you were later than him. That never happens.
How did that happen? Did you purposely delay, or how did that happen? Tell me how it happened. Because I didn't think about it.
I don't know. Floyd's been doing a lot of weird things lately, so I don't know.
Did you just elect to come in late, or how did it happen that you came in first?
He just came in first.
So he just randomly showed up ahead of you today?
Yeah, that's what happened. Randomly showed up ahead of him.
Hey, Robert,
Please wait.
Sign of the times. He's a sheriff in town.
so I say it shows me where his mind's at.
Hey Robert, you've been on these cards before on the undercard. How does it feel to be, in the main event? Have you, noticing all the vibe and everything that goes along with the fight week?
Same thing, just different name. You got to be ready for every fight, no matter what it is. If it's a 4-rounder, if it's an amateur fight, you got to be ready for whatever's going to come at you. So, being the main event, semi-main event, or being the undercard, you got to be ready no matter what. And like I said, you got to take care of business when you get in that ring. You step in that ring, it's time to take care of business. And sympathy or everything else, whatever, this, that, doesn't mean nothing. Because the only thing that means something is what you do in that ring.
You wanted this obviously for a long time, proven by the amount of emails we receive on almost a weekly basis about you wanting to fight. It was a lot, man. You killed a lot of trees. But now that you sit here and you finally have it,
Has the build body shots.
It was a lot of emails. But has the build up to it been what you expected? All of this, is this what you wanted, or was it more about just the fight, or was it any of this in terms of putting your name on this kind of stage?
It's more about the fight. It's more about being the best fighter you can be, fighting the best fighters. You become the best fighter. You work hard. You do what you got to do. You take care of business. It's all going to be there. That's why everybody goes, oh, you're getting paid this, that, see this and that. It's not about that, because if you take care of business, it'll all be there. So, like I said, you got to be ready. I'm ready to go. I've been training hard, focused, determined. I just can't wait to get in that ring.
Robert, you have declined to talk about your gun arrest in New York. Is that on the advice of your attorney, or is that just because you don't want to talk about it?
I ain't got nothing to hide. My focus is on fighting.
If you got nothing to hide, then can you tell us about it?
It's all taken care of. Everything got taken care of. It was a misunderstanding. Hey, you know what? I was unaware of, the laws there. All Access wanted to film me doing a thing here in Las Vegas. With, they know I'm an active fisherman hunter, so I'm like, hey, well, you know what? We'll do something. Unfortunately, it didn't make it here. I was just unaware of New York City state law.
What is the legal status of that right now?
Let's stay on the...
Everything's all taken care of already. And, main focus is getting ready for the fight. That's the bottom line, is taking care of business.
Floyd mentioned in here earlier that he was facing a jail sentence in his last fight, and he believes you might be too. Is that your belief?
No, that's not my belief. My belief is I'm going to go in there and beat him down May 4th. That's what my belief is. So he needs to be worried about that, not about whatever's going to go on with me after the fight. And he better think about getting ready about that rematch.
You got a clause, right?
Is there a rematch?
Oh, definitely.
We have to ask.
That's the first thing he asked for, is a rematch clause, man.
Well,
Hey, you know what?
You were surprised at that.
Oh yeah. You never asked for one, and you asked for one. It just shows me where his head's at.
In a particular fight like this, when there's a rematch clause, that's more incentive for you, right? Because he's the man, he's the big guy, and that means you get more money.
Put it this way, it's like he said, I don't know who Robert Guerrero is, but I want a rematch. That's it. He knows what he's getting into. First thing you ask for is a rematch. Hey, you know what? But it's well deserved. He's undefeated. Nobody hasn't been up 43-0. 43 tried. I've heard it over and over. He said it like a million times.
Robert, the fact that you fought 2 fights...
I'm gonna ask him at the press conference to refresh my memory. What is it again? 43-0 or 41, huh?
The fact that you fought 2 fights at this weight against 2 very different fighters and beating their style, is that really what got you best prepared for this particular fight, knowing that you can fight different ways at this weight and still be successful? Is that the key to winning this fight, what you've already done at 47?
Yeah, being able to get 2 fights like that back to back, one a pressure fighter, power puncher, another guy is a power puncher who has speed, fast hands, who tried to do like a wannabe Floyd,
Right.
which it was laughable. I mean, just broke right through that in not even a minute. You know, it helps out being sharp. You know, like I said, it's the best of both worlds coming at you, you know, to get ready for a Floyd Mayweather fight, to break in at 147 pounds. But also, too, you know, throughout your career, you know, all your experiences, all the fighters you've been in with, lefties, righties, you know, boxers, punchers, you know, just the different styles, you know, it preps you out to be ready for this. You know, you're not just throwing in unprepared. Be able to make those adjustments, be able to do different things in the ring. You've seen different styles before, you know, throughout your career. So, you know, that's the ultimate thing that gets you ready.
You talk about adjustments, and Floyd was talking about that too, and the one thing that he thinks separates himself as a fighter from other fighters is the ability he has to make those adjustments from round to round. Specifically, he talked about the second round of Mosley to the third round. I mean, are you confident in your ability to adjust to anything he does in there?
Yeah, he is able to adjust to a guy who had a hurt back fighting him with Mosley.
Alright guys, you good?
You know, I'm comfortable however he wants to fight. He wants to fight on the inside, he wants to fight on the outside, I can make those adjustments. I can mix it up, I can make the adjustments. He just better be ready to make those adjustments when I make those adjustments, because I'm going to keep making those adjustments.
Robert, when Floyd was in here a second ago, just what follow up on what he was saying, he was trying to say, you know, that your image was hypocritical, and he kept saying that, well, you know, if God has your back, he said it more than once, why do you need to carry a gun? He kept saying that over and over.
Also mentioned Marilyn Monroe pictures.
Yeah, Marilyn Monroe pictures on your wall. And
Oh, man. That just makes me laugh because it shows me how much he knows about the Bible. We're all hypocrites here. We're all sinners. That's the way it is. There's only one person that was perfect in this world, and that was Jesus Christ. Nobody else. So we're all hypocrites. We all make mistakes. We're only human. You know, for him to say that you're a hypocrite, it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. I mean, he's so worried about his image and about my image that he's saying, oh, Guerrero's a hypocrite. You know, he's getting sympathy off his wife and this and that. It makes me laugh because it just shows me where his head's at. His head's stuck in, I don't know if he's trying to paint a picture for everybody that he's a great guy or what. I don't know. Or he's feeling guilty about something where he's trying to bag on me about Marilyn Monroe pictures, or you know, it's laughable.
He appears to know more about you than he says.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You hit it right on.
Thanks guys.
you.
All I know is I'm ready to go May 4th. Be ready to be shocked.
Thank you.
That's it. Yeah.
Thank you very
And
much.
I'm ready too, man. Right here. I'm ready for the dad, eh? I'm ready for the dad, man. And the dad never shows up, man. He never shows up. I'm always there.
We got the training camp on
That's it,
film.
man. That's it. How you doing, man? Doing good. I'm ready to go, baby.
You ready to go?
Yeah. I fight him with one hand, man. One hand.